This video brought to you in part by LinerX.
Hey folks, welcome back to Ed's Garage. Airtabs, do they work? Have you heard of them? They're also called Ecofins, and they're these weird looking things that I've got all around my trailer. So basically what they are is, in order to make the trailer a little bit aerodynamic or more aerodynamic and get rid of the vacuum that's created on the back of the trailer as you're pulling it through the air, these little guys are supposed to create a vortex of air, a little spinning vortex, to actually reduce that aerodynamic drag. Now these ones that you see here, I actually 3D printed those. Let me show you the process real quick. Just designing the actual Airtabs in 3 dimensions here, getting the curve from top to bottom. So I'll come back to this once it's all done, but I think that's a pretty good shape right there already. Alright, so this is what I've come up with, just loosely modeling it after what I've seen on the internet. I think this is pretty darn close to what I see, so I'm going to go ahead and print out 50 million of these things. Print one out first and see what it looks like. Now, before we get too far into this and into the testing, thank you so much for viewing the channel, guys. If you haven't been here before, basically this is part of a series where we're going to be taking this trailer across Canada and then back across the United States, and we're going to be pulling it with an electric vehicle, the Ioniq 6, that I've got currently hooked up to the trailer. And in order to increase the overall range, I'm going to be doing several different things to hopefully reduce aerodynamic drag, reduce tire rolling resistance. I've got some tires that are ready to be put on. I've got some nicer wheels that are ready to be put on, or more aerodynamic wheels. And basically we're going to be doing a few things aside from that to increase the overall range. So currently, as it sits in our previous test, without these little fins on here, we got about 29.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That would give the vehicle an overall range of only to about 260 kilometers, which quite frankly isn't enough. I'm trying to get it over 300k, and I'm really hoping that these do their part. If I can get even 1 kilowatt hour better, I'm going to be happy. If it's the same, I'll be satisfied that I didn't put a lot of money into this. These Airtabs, they're quite expensive if you buy them, so hence why I decided to 3D print them. So I modeled them after the Airtab brand, but they're basically the same shape, and they're a lot cheaper to print myself. In any case, let's get to the testing. We're going to do the same test loop we did last time. We're going to keep it to around 90 kilometers an hour, and we're going to keep the climate control turned on, and we're going to be driving in eco mode. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put the car into eco mode. There we go. We've got the climate control set to 21.5 degrees. It is currently 23 degrees outside, or 24 degrees, which is pretty close to what it said the last time we were doing a test. Ignore this, it's just because we just started the car. Obviously the car has been in the sun all day, and the sun has since gone down. So it is only about 24, 23 degrees outside right now, and the car should report that momentarily. I'm also going to go ahead and reset the trip computer, so we'll do that now. So we got our drive info, which also always starts from scratch when we turn on the car, so that's good. We're going to go ahead and reset everything. So I've got 3 trip computers going. It really doesn't matter because it's actually all 1 trip computer. But there we go. So let's hit the road. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut up for now because yeah, the rest basically is just me driving at the speed limit in most places, but 90 kilometers an hour on the highway, which is only a little over the speed limit. So yeah, we're going to do our test loop, and we'll meet you back at the halfway mark. All right, guys, we are at the halfway point. We are at 31.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Now that we're halfway, though, I thought I'd mention the wind today is quite strong. We definitely were in a headwind on the way out here, and hopefully that's actually an advantage on the way back, and we see better numbers on the way back. So, yeah, we're just going through the little gravel section here at about 20 kilometers an hour, exactly the same way we did it on the last test. If you haven't seen the last test, basically what it was about was what the range loss or range efficiency would be between just driving the car without a trailer on this test loop, which ended up being around 15 kilowatt hours per 100K or 16, and what it would be by pulling a trailer. Nothing else has changed other than those Airtabs. That's the only thing that I've changed. So since that test, I've put those Airtabs on. Next test for range will be with the different tires and smaller wheels. And then the test after that will be the smaller wheels with their Aero covers installed. And we'll see what change that makes, if any. And then once we make another change to the trailer, we'll do another test on the trailer, or we'll do another test with the trailer. But I'm going to shut up for now, and we're going to do our run back home, and we'll see where we end up. Nope. No better. 29.8. Exactly. No, it's exactly the same. Okay, well, guys, we're back home and we are at 29.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So precisely the same as the last trip. Now, there was a couple times when there was other cars in front of me. As a matter of fact, I actually passed somebody. That doesn't help. But on the last test, I actually passed somebody as well. So, yeah, clearly those Airtabs are not doing anything at all for me. Now, I'm sorry, I'm calling them Airtabs, but they're basically just homemade 3D printed vortex generators. So I'm not going to say that they don't work, but they didn't work for me, at least not on this trip. Now, Airtabs and Ecofins, they both claim that 80 kilometers an hour is kind of the minimum speed that you'll actually start to notice a difference. And a lot of this driving was about 80 kilometers an hour. Most of it was still about 90K. And the other thing is, you know, we had a lot more wind today than last time as well. Last time there was like no wind. This time there was wind. Now, I would expect that that would help in one direction and hinder in another. But if the wind is coming from the side... What am I looking at here? What is this? Look at this car. Oh, it's like, what kind of car is that I'm looking at? That's kind of cool.
I thought it was a tiny car pulling a trailer.
But anyway, so if the wind is coming from the side, then obviously that could actually have a pretty negative effect. So it's entirely possible that they are helping, but if they are, it's so negligible, it's not worth spending the money, in my opinion, to get these Airtabs or vortex generators. The other thing is there's a lot of smoke in the air here right now. We've got some forest fires nearby, so the air feels kind of thick. It smells kind of thick, so maybe that's got something to do with it as well. But honestly, I think, you know, going down to the smaller wheel sizes and getting lower resistance tires, rolling resistance tires, you know, better aerodynamics on the wheels, that sort of thing. I think that's going to help a lot more than these Airtabs did. Thankfully, I didn't spend a lot of money making them. Again, I used maybe $30 worth of filament for the 3D printer, and then, I don't know, maybe $10 worth of double-sided adhesive. So $40 and, you know, 20 minutes of my time isn't really going to hurt me at all. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed this this fun little test. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments about Airtabs or Ecofins or some sort of vortex generators that you feel have worked for you in the past, I don't want anecdotal evidence. If you've got you know, hard evidence that they did work for you, that's great. That's what I want to hear about. But yeah, unfortunately for me, they didn't work. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.